What's up, Discord? I say Discord because this is a video that's going to be appearing on Discord before this gets released. And what's up, everybody? This is Storm from Storm and Blackbird. And this is what you'd call, back by popular demand, this is a goddamn cooking video. And I guess I am trying to do some of these when I have the time, but now is the time, right? So what is it going to be this time? I'm sure you've read the title in all caps. This is a Bavarian lasagna, or lasagne, wherever region you're from. That's basically what we're gonna do today. And also because I want to promote my Discord server as well. But besides that point, so there is a bunch of things going to be different from the regular lasagna. And no, it's not the song PewDiePie make that I'm making this. I just had this idea for a very long time, and now I can try and make it because there's a goddamn what you call it, emergency alarm in the Alps. We're now supposed to stay at homes because the winter is just kicking off to level 5. So I'm here and now I can do something for a long wee while. And what we got is some different things that you might not see on a lasagna. First of all, we got spinach. Then we've got eggs. Then we've got emmental, not gouda cheese. And what is this? Exactly. And a bunch of other things are missing, like why am I holding this space free? Well, there's a reason for that. And just for anyone who is concerned about this cooking video, until now, this has been vegetarian friendly. Now you're gonna be advised to click away if you don't want anything to see anything vegetarian and vegan unfriendly. So there's your chance. But besides that point, let's go ahead and get our main stuff. What is this? Oh, let's get that thing out. And close the damn oven. But we're still gonna be needing it for later. Anyhows, look at this piece of art. This right here is something called liver cheese. Or in German it's called Leberkäse. Or in Bavarian it's called Fleischkäse. Or in everywhere else also it could be called as Fleischküchle. In the Netherlands it's called Leberkäse or Leverkaas or Leverkaas. There's many names for this, but one important feature of this is that it's meat. It's pork, it's beef, it's bacon, all super rinsed together, and you get something like this. Why is it called liver cheese? There's no particular way to see if there's liver or cheese. That's a word mouth in the German folks that we use. So the liver actually is existent, but not in Bavaria. In Bavaria, putting liver in Leberkäse is actually not allowed. Only outside of Bavaria you can find liver inside Leberkäse. So in intentional form in Bavaria you might also hear the word Fleischkäse, which is meat cheese, or in this sense meat loaf. We know that word though. Yes, it's called meat loaf as for the English speaking people, because this looks like a goddamn bread loaf in itself. And this is where also the cheese in the name comes from. It also, as I can demonstrate, we can cut it like it's cheese. And I'm gonna try and open it up. And that's how it looks inside. Very cheesy, as not in the Cheeto sense. But right now it's done and I can use it for later. And I shouldn't have done a very thick cut because that's not what the lasagna will have, but I guess I'll eat that for breakfast. So other things are going to be added to this other than the liver cheese. And we're gonna start right now with the spinach. And now we're gonna do first things first. put in whatever oil you want, I guess. Doesn't really matter. I just decided to use sunflower oil. Put in, let's say, 2 spoons and a plus, and that should be enough, because the first thing you need to do is put in the chopped onions inside. And before doing that, make sure it's warm. I don't need to tell you how to chop onions. I'm pretty sure everyone and their mothers, especially their mothers, know how to chop onions. So therefore there's no need for me to tell you and show you anymore. And anymore as in, I have done past cooking videos on this channel. Just this time it's going to be released to the public. The past few ones were unpublished, but I sent them over to Discord because I know I can have some fun with this, right? Right, so this is warm enough. Let's put in the chopped onions. I don't care about the size of this thing, but whatever. Let's just put it in down there. And get this whole damn thing to, I'd say gold brown, but since we're doing spinach, it's okay to do them half or 75% of the way through. Because the spinach takes more than 10 minutes to be done if you're doing it in the pan. And as you can hear, it's gonna go swell. It's just your ordinary way to make your onions cooked and shit. Keep in mind that while doing this, make sure to get some time to put the lasagna noodles in hot water, or you can just get the hottest way possible from the tap water, so that when you put it in the oven it's already getting good. As for the heat in itself, just put it in the middle. As I said, I don't use a gasoline, well, I don't use gas for cooking things. This is an induction method, so I am using no resources really, just electricity. So when I say middle heat, pretty much 2.5 on the gas, and in the induction case 5.5, whatever. Alright, this should be going good for the onions, and now we're gonna put in the spinach itself. So I'd recommend doing this on the cooled spinach. You can try and do it with fresh spinach, but I can't do that at the moment. It's not the right season for that. So we're gonna have to do it from the cooled section. And so let's put it in here. I don't know how much you want. I'd say put a lot. It's gonna come out as these rolls. That's okay. I'm pretty sure it's different if anyone else wants to do it. They buy it from some other store. And last but not least, put in well, I guess about this much water. There we go. This should be able to make the spinach break apart on its own. This should be able to make sure that the spinach will break apart on its own at, well, once again, at middle heat. This will come crashing down in the meantime while you're doing other stuff. This should do fine. Oh, already the bottom part is breaking apart. There we go. Lovely. I know not a lot of people like spinach, but spinach is god tier vegetable. It's so good. There's no other vegetable that can heal your wounds, give you so many vitamins, and do you justice than spinach. Of course, there's kohlrabi, or there's the cauliflower. Those are pretty good. But spinach is god tier vegetable. I'm sure there are many other local vegetables that can beat spinach on its own. But everywhere else, the reason why you find spinach internationally is because it's so damn good. Screw around with it a little bit until all of the spinach have reached ground zero. you're gonna be wondering, this looks like a soup. This looks like something you'd put for a salad. And I'm gonna show you later on how we're gonna deal with this in the lasagna. It's no biggie. So I will leave it like so for 15 minutes. That's my time right there. Not that close though, just a little bit. Alright, so next up is the bechamel sauce, or the bechamel sauce, wherever you're from. This one is the sauce that you put in the lasagna, basically. So what we're first going to be doing and kneading is, well, milk, whatever you want, however you want it, and make sure it's warm. Put in a bunch so that you'll need it later. Heat it up, not that much, much heat, and we'll close in on that for now. And once the milk is reasonably warm, it's time to do the bechamel. Alright, so what we're gonna be needing is butter for all our senses here. And then another lump, because I know I'll be using quite a lot of bechamel sauce. For those who don't know what a bechamel sauce is, let me compare. So basically, you can use it to store a bunch of vegetables a very, very long time, but also you can normally use it with pasta, like spaghetti or lasagna. If you're imagining an RPG and there's a weapon that can basically be used by everybody, then this is basically it. This is an all-rounder weapon that you can use on anything. Bechamel sauce is quite the great weapon, I should say. So here comes the hard part that's gonna happen. So remember, I'm using an induction. Indeed, when I mean I'm using electricity, I'm using magnets, I mean. The magnets are down here, and when I take this thing off, it's going to panic a little, and then it'll automatically turn off. And I need to remove the container there and here. We shall see. I've never done a correct amount of bechamel before, so we're gonna see if I'm lucky here. So all we need is a little bit of flour. I guess I should have said that word before, so that you know what this is. And then we can start immediately with the mixture before it gets solid, and I would like to avoid it being solid. It's getting a bit solid, so when that happens, this is when you use the milk to cool it off. I mean, it is warm, a bit warm milk, but this is enough to do the job. So what I'm basically making right now is, you can't see it, but parts of it is solid enough. So I'm gonna put it back down so that I can put it in its liquid state again, and then it'll fix itself. And so after 3 million rounds and rounds later, voila, look at that. It's showing itself to be a great bechamel sauce. Oh man, I'm loving this now. This is going good. And yeah, make sure to exit this heat now, because I think I'm done with this. The spinach should be very good looking, as it's now been freed from its frozen state. And the water and the onions, all good together. But yes, there is still more to do with this, because this is not cooked yet the way that I wanted it to be. You can try and taste it, but it's gonna be hard. So, on to the next step on this Bavarian lasagna. And do not forget to put salt and pepper in your bechamel. I have a tendency to forget to pepper and salt things, so forgive me for doing this late. But that should be alright. It's not gonna change much. I can do it later or now. For that matter, we're gonna do the next step, which is to do some sunny side up eggs. That's one of the best things in Bavaria, is that everything is with an egg of sorts, hard boiled or whatnot. So let's put in the oil basically everywhere, because we're gonna be using a lot of space for this, because we're gonna do 6 at the same damn time. And the first one, shall we? And also do it at low ground so that the egg does not explode when landing. Holy hell, what's up with this egg? Oh my lord, what the hell? I didn't buy the wrong eggs, didn't I? This thing fell too, man. It doesn't say it's already, well, it's already best before. Okay, I guess that one egg was just an exception. I guess, hell, it's the only dark brown one I have out of these eggs. So I wonder that was the reason. It's not my fault here. But anyhow, it should be done quicker than usual. Now the only brown egg of all things just had to explode with itself, but the rest are okay. So you don't need to do anything right now. All you just have to do is watch and... Oh yeah, and I should not forget, don't forget to put salt on it. Very useful, very handy tips and tricks right here. So one thing to note, since you're using oil and not butter, you're going to have to move these things around a bit so that they don't get stuck in the end and create even more mess. The reason one would use butter to cook eggs is that there's no mess in the end. Okay, I think I'm doing a good job on that part though. So at this point you can try and break the eggs apart, which is easy because naturally they are trained to separate from each other. There we go, we've created separations for these eggs finally. And this is going to be important to do it at this moment because you can't do it when they're done. So when you do it at this time, you can separate them easier. Exactly this way. Now, while the eggs are being done, I will redirect the camera back to the spinach. Because now it looks like it's at this stage that I want it to be. I have tasted it, and it's good. It's great. Only one problem, it needs to be seasoned again. So, as usual, we've got salt. Put in a bunch of it, why not? Pepper, and the other thing that I showed you before, this thing. This is muscat, and when you buy it, it may come in either this form or in a nut form. I chose to have the nut form, and I basically rinsed it with a grater, and then just put all of that in here. Now, do not put a lot of muscat. That can actually kill you. So put in a moderate amount of muscat. Alright, and now here comes the hard part. It's that you turn them around for all what you need for. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so hopefully none of the yellow will come out, as we've pretty much cooked them for a very long while. Alright, this should be it for these eggs. Let's take a look. Yes, this is the exact form that I would like them to be. And so we can use them for our lasagna. Now for the spinach part, we need it to have no water in it anymore as it's finished as it is. So let's put it in this... I have no clue, I'm German, I can't English today. And just shake it around a bit. And that should be the liquid away, and that's the spinach that you need for the lasagna. Okay, now we're gonna use the same form we did on the liver cheese, because it's really ready to use it for. So normally on lasagna, a normal lasagna, you'd put the meat sauce first, but since we don't have a meat sauce, we're gonna be using the bechamel for this. Okay, there we go. And now we'll put in the lasagna noodles, hopefully at least. As be careful, since they are quote unquote cooked, they might fall apart. So I made it so it's gotten out the right time. Alright, that should be the first layer. And now we'll put in the spinach next. Alright, that should cover the inner parts. Never do not make them go to the outside. Just put in the inner side, because they're just gonna get covered anyway. So the next part is the liver cheese itself, the one that I propped into. So the existing cut, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna use anyway. Now you get to see full how the liver cheese looks like. Wonderful. Great taste. Okay, that should cover the liver cheese, Leberkäse part. And at this point, put in more bechamel. Then once again, put the noodles on top of each other. Alright, this shouldn't cover everything, because we're now gonna put in the cheese. So I still have a bunch of emmental left, and then I'm gonna open the other one. So here's the hard part to recognize here. It's the cheese itself. So normally you would put gouda for lasagna, others would say maasdam, and there are some lunatics who would say mozzarella, but they're crazy and they have lost control of their life. But Emmentaler is your typical Bavarian, Swabian, Austrian way to use cheese. And so therefore we gotta have to stick with tradition, right? There's nothing bad about any of these types of cheese. It's just that one fits with the culture of one more than the other. And the same procedure now with the spinach. And then the eggs, just not all of them covering all of it, just something like this. And now you'll know why I did 6. You'll know what's left after all this, right? Liver cheese, bechamel, noodles, then more blasphemous spinach. Cover this thing up with more cheese. Liver cheese. The last batch of bechamel, the last 3 pieces of egg, and the last batch of spinach, all of your noodles, and with this closed 180 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes. Now it's been 30 minutes. Oh god, keep on forgetting the fog that comes out. Would you look at that? It looks just as I imagined it to be. I can't believe how well that actually went. Now this is quite good. I just taste tested it, man. Alright, so hopefully that should crave 6 months worth of cooking videos. Now I'm gonna have to finish this thing off unless I'm gonna be inviting friends over. Well, as I just covered the microphone. Anyhow, thanks for watching and bon appetit. How am I supposed to end a cooking video? Don't die with muscat nuts.